Now that sounds like a funny statement, but the thing is that let's hope you feel that way. You always feel like you're not good enough because you don't know as much as you want to know, and you don't know. And then again, if you look, just what I said about the American public before, it doesn't concern you. It concerns them, what they hear. And people hear things and they don't hear what a musician hears unless they listen to music or jazz and get an ear for it. Because no matter what it is you do, it's educational. You educate your ears by what you listen to. You educate your eyes, what you want to see. You educate your smell, what you want to smell. When you smell like pancakes and like a blueberry muffin. I mean, you educate your ears. And when it comes to stuff like that, like, it depends on what you listen to. So now, like Coltrane, like he would be playing, and the critics panned Coltrane to no end, that he's not playing stuff, and then finally, when they finally started seeing where he was, like he was so far ahead of everything, then all of a sudden he's great. Then they took up another saxophonist who wasn't that cool, but had that kind of sound like Coltrane, supposedly, when he was out, and they figured, well, he's coming from there, so he's got to be great too, and it wasn't so. So it doesn't depend on when you think you're ready. It's like, I mean, you can be capable of making a gig, but the point is that, like, you might be like blowing your butt off, man. The people say, you know what I mean? So the thing is, what you're saying is, like, when you're ready, like, you have a vocabulary, a musical vocabulary, at least you can make a gig and play some different songs. But man, like, the real musician, man, doesn't feel like he's ever ready. And that's the way, I don't say that's the way you should feel, but if you've been practicing for a while and playing, you'll wind up feeling that way. Come back, I'll talk about something else. You don't have to be a student to study. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. Whatever the melody is you play, if you play the melody and you can play the melody at a snail's pace, I mean, then you got it. I mean, because, like, people pop up, but if you say, like, okay? You do like that and play things like that, and you'll be shocked. And you know what will shock you? You won't be able to play it because you'll be busy saying. You know what I mean? You see, the reason, like, when I talk to students, I don't care how advanced they are, man. Okay. You know what that was? Huh? Yeah, I know you know band, right? You know, yeah. Huh? Yeah. But like the better you know your scale, the better you'll be able to, like, you know, like, like. Okay. But the thing is, like anything that you learn, no matter what it is, play it in half step, then play it in minor thirds, but I mean whole step, fourth, fifth. That's a good exercise for you. You know why? Because of your ear. So you take that same thing and you go. So you say. I mean, anything that you can play, like you think of, do it like that, and then do it like in half steps, whole steps, minor steps, like, you know. But get a teacher to point out your shortcomings, because like most likely you'll be playing something and you'll add more onto that, but it's a bad habit that you're getting into, and then it'll be harder to break. Listen to somebody you like and then try to emulate it. Listen to somebody, like, because they're all different. Like, you know, you can say like, I mean, it depends on the bite that you take. It depends on what you hear. You're like, you know, and it depends on your mouthpiece. A lot of it. Because everybody, you have a personal voice, just like your mom and dad would know your voice when they hear it over the phone. You hear your friend's voice. It's the same with everybody else. Like, you know, you'll hear people, you hear most of the guys now, before they were trying to play like Coltrane. So they all did. They didn't get his sound, but they got their sound sounding like Coltrane, you know. Yeah, you could do the same thing. Like you could say, or you could say, I mean, whatever, no matter what it is for the sound, if you hear something, I mean, try to get it, you know, with what your ear is telling you, you know, like, you know, like. And if you notice Twain, he didn't go. You know, I mean, you're a bass player. Yeah. Yeah. So, you play saxophone too?
No, I just.
Or is that Eddie Gomez? Boom, hit vibrato. Yeah, you know. Yeah, good. Learn the melody.
And after you do that?
I mean, well, you really never, I mean, learn the melody, play the melody slow, like, you know, and then like, I was, like, uh, okay, once you learn the melody down, you know, and you kind of halfway got it, then try to play the chords to it. You know, like, so I say. like, and when you get a little bit like knowledgeable with the chord, then you try to, you want to fix it so when you play the song, it doesn't sound the same every time you play it. Like. You know what I mean? And fix it so that we all have favorite things that we do. So be conscious of that, so that you don't do that. Because if I look, I say, "Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?" I mean, say, "Oh man," and it's the same way with music. Like if I see you every day, "Hey, how you been?" "Yeah, man." Like you don't want it to be the same way. Sometimes you can't help it until you get it. So keep doing the same thing, but have in your mind that you want to change it. And a good way to do it is just like you say. You say, "Gee, I keep playing the same thing." Well, and if you do, then say. You know. And it's okay to make a mistake. That's okay. I mean, but like no matter what it is you play, like. Now, if I play that backwards. Like in the middle of the night, maybe 1, 2, 3 o'clock, I'll get up and I'll take a pen and a pencil and write down something that's in my head that I kind of knew, but I write it down, because what happens is when you have something in your head and you're in bed and you say, "Good, I'm gonna get that in the morning," you forget it, and that's just the way it is, So get up and write it down, and then when you do, like you look at it, it might seem familiar, but then you say, "That's right, I know it, but I don't know it," So that's what I do. Like I got this something there on around midnight it was doing, and I heard Jimmy Heath, and he was playing like. Now that's simple, but like I don't know it the way I want to know it, It's 1, 3, flat 5, 7 tonic. Yeah, 1, 3, flat 5, 7, yeah. Here's a good, do your diminishes like this. And the reason is because, like, when you get it down, you go like. And then when you add the tritone to it, you get. And then if you do the third, you get. Yeah. Yeah, and you do it in fourth. But then there's hundreds of ways to do it. Like, you know, so when I sit down, I don't want to play that. Like, like I told you from Jimmy Heath, I got. You know, so I, you know. You see that now? See, I just stumble on that, but I don't have it under my finger. So like, if I get a piece of paper, I'll put that and I'll practice that, so that I have it, because, you know, I would know where to put it, you know. And if I don't know, I'll find somewhere to put it, you know. Once you learn, well, David Baker has in this book, like there's so many compositions that are similar. You know, they're the same thing, that like if there's a little change and you're listening to the music, like you'll hear it, you know. But the only thing is that I'm glad I wasn't on the bandstand and somebody says, we're going to play Giant Step, you'll hear it. Yeah, that's all you'll do is hear it. Because the changes are going, you know, the two beats, you know, two beats like the 4 beat, no, the 2 beat, dun, dun, yeah, the 4 beat, 2 beats to a bar or something like that, yeah. So the thing is that if it's one of those kind of compositions, then you know, you gotta, that's a good time to fix your reed in case. You know? Yeah. You know, and then get off and say, yeah. But the thing is that like, if you're practicing and you're doing everything off every tonality, like most likely, and don't forget the chromatic. The chromatic, man, you know, because like, I don't care what it is, what the chord is, the chromatic will fit it. You know what I mean? So you can, you know, like. Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah, it'll fit. So if you're playing something and you have to play something, you know, for that, just play a chromatic. And it'll work. Yeah. Well, listen, you know what? When you're comfortable with what you're doing and you think that's it, I mean, that's it. It sounded like Chinese music to him. He was just being honest. You know, when I heard it, man, I didn't know what it was, but I said, man, whatever it is, I sure like it, you know. I had a guy, like he's well known, but I'm not gonna say his name. He's dead and gone, but I'm not gonna say. And he was a wonderful musician. And we were talking one time, and I'm standing there, and he said, yeah, he said, like Dizzy, you know, like he capitalizes off his mistakes. So what Dizzy makes with mistakes, he was saying, you know. And you know what I did? I just said, because if you don't know, you don't know. And you can't tell somebody and then know, you say such and such, and say, oh yeah, I got it, yeah, I know what he's doing. Hey man, don't woke him, let him sleep, you know. So like, see, people do what they can do. And like I'm at the Blue Note now, and I'm there with the Dizzy Gillespie Alumni All-Stars, and there's Slide Hampton, Greg Gisbert, Slide Hampton trombone, Greg Gisbert trumpet, Mulgrew Miller piano, Lewis Nash drums. Man, the music those guys, and man, like, I mean, the slide, this stuff. Greg Gisbert, he's got some new stuff, man. And I mean, you talking about playing, I mean, he's phenomenal. Roberto, you know Greg Gisbert? Oh man, he's terrible, man. I mean, just a little guy like, but man, the stuff he plays is so beautiful, and I mean, and the way I mean, it's just, and so like every night, man, I hear that, and I go home, and stuff is running through my head, and I'm getting up all night long, trying to copy down and say, man, but he's terrible. And when he plays a line, like, he doesn't say like, I mean, the line isn't like, he's like, I mean, he actually plays like that, no matter what it is, and man, you say, damn, beautiful. You know what I mean? You know, somebody would say, he doesn't do that, man. He just, I mean, and if he didn't run out of breath, I get the feeling he could still keep going. You know.
But you circular breathe.
Yeah, I know I circular breathe. I circular breathe, but that's not, I was just doing that, but he does that on trumpet. Greg Gisbert, man, he's 44, I think. You know, he's old now. 44 years old, man. He's terrible. If that's questions, I like your sound, Ben. That sound, yeah. And thanks for, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.